Y'all, I waited. Y'all, I waited. That's better. Y'all, I waited all day, all day to go live and talk about this bullshit. I waited all day to talk about this bullshit, y'all. Um, because I was actually clocked in at work. I was actually touching grass and going to work today. So, couldn't say too much. Although I could have made like a whole 20, 30-minute video about the shit. But if you're coming in here and you're seeing my face, hey, hi, hello, how are you guys? Let's tap the screen. If you see me, hi, tap the screen. Let's get the likes up, y'all. I know I just started, but like, come on now. Because I cannot help. So there's so many thoughts that I have over this interview, right? So many things. Listen, and hear me out. If Ace, if the question wasn't asked about Nick and Alendria, right? If he just focused on his friendships, how like what was happening in that villa and so on and so forth, if he focused on that and focused on how he felt like production did a lot of shit, then I would rate this interview a lot higher than what I did. I would have rated the interview a lot higher than what I did, but because of the way that he handled the question about Nick and Alendria supposedly not like being together if it's real, the way that he handled that, then it's like a lot lower. Because this is the issue, right? That part of the interview overshadowed a lot of good points that he said about Love Island in general, about his experience, about him as a black man, so on and so forth. Like, and it's actually really pissing me off, right? Because if the way that he actually handled certain things, and honestly, y'all, I think that I also have to clock him. This man lied. Hold on, let me fix this. I don't like the way it's looking down. This man straight up lied a lot to us. He lied about the cold sore thingy when that was asked. Nobody had a cold sore, y'all. Nobody had a cold sore, y'all. That did not happen in the villa. People got hurt. Just to clarify, he lied about that. He didn't tell the whole truth about, you know, what Nick spoke to him about and everything. You know, and he pretty much led to say that Nick wasn't a good friend because he didn't support him enough. Which is a lie. That's also a lie, by the way. Now, the issue is, for me personally, if we're talking about... I think Ace is honestly just upset that Nick is not the type of person to fall in line. I truly think that. I think that Ace is upset that Ace is upset that Nick felt no need to like fall on his knees and like quote unquote defend Ace here, this, that, and the other. Now, mind you, Nick did defend him, right? Nick did speak up for him, has been actively supporting him. But I think that Ace wanted more. I think that Ace expected more, and because Nick wasn't willing to give it or just simply didn't get it, he didn't. I think that, if I'm being honest with y'all, I think that the issue is that Nick is very like, he understands everybody's perspective. And I mean everybody's. He's willing to go like, well, yeah, that is true, but I understand where you're coming from and I feel for you. However, and he's very much a two things can be true at once type of person. Like, he's always been like that. He's always been clear in his words. He's always been clear in what he says. His intentions have been very clear in regard to the way that he speaks, what he says, right? And I think that bothers Ace, because somebody that feels like they always have to quote unquote stand on business, somebody that always feels the need to like be ready to like box and fight somebody, is not somebody that is going to be ready to like actually be friends with somebody that is willing to understand different perspectives. You know, that is willing to understand multiple different points of views, right? Which is why people were so upset at Nick for like saying, hey, two things can be true at once when it came down to Huda, right? In regards to the heart rate challenge and in regards to whether or not she was bullied or ganged up on. You know? They didn't like, people don't like the fact that he was very much like, hey, I think that two things are true. I think that, you know, this isn't true. Like, he's very much like the type of person to be like, to me, he reminds me of somebody that is like a critical thinker. I hate to say it, but like, he reminds me of somebody that not only critically thinks, like he has common sense and everything, but also somebody that is wanting to make sure that everybody gets their point across, wanting to understand where everybody's coming from, you know? And I think that pisses off a lot of people. That pissed off a lot of fans because he's always, quote unquote, on the fence. But the thing is, he's not. That's what's funny, because even if we were to use an example of like, if Huda was ganged up on her, if she was bullied. No, right? He's very clear with what he says, but he also wants to reiterate that, you know, two things can be true. He literally states multiple times, right? He literally states in the Baby This Is Keke Palmer podcast that, he doesn't think it was bullying. He would not label it that, but there was definitely some division between the girls, right? I think that definitely happened, and if that division was very much so appropriate. And because he did not take a side, because he was not willing to stand on one side compared to the other, people did not like that. But the funny thing is, he was very much leaning towards the no, she was not bullied. However, things were said, things had happened. Listen, a lot of people don't like to hear however when it comes down to any conversations. A lot of people do not like to hear a but when it comes down to any conversations. But I'm going to be real with you guys. Buts and howevers in regards to answering a question, sometimes it's extremely valid and sometimes it's not. I think that Nick not, quote unquote, taking a firm stance on like these topics of something that he actively experienced makes sense. Because not only is he's not going to be willing to speak up or speak on only something that he experienced, he's thinking about others. And that's exactly why Olandria and Nick work out so well, because they actively think about others. They're not willing to, quote unquote, take a side. They're not willing to like do this and the other, right? In a way they are, because, you know, they're very loyal to their friends, or at least they were. But damn, at least they were. Shit. Yo, that just got dark, y'all. That just got dark. Well, they're loyal to a fault, right? They're willing to hear people out. They're willing to understand this, that, and the other. That's the reason why, you know, quote unquote, Olandria was so selfless when it came down to Nick. That's the reason why Nick is so open when it comes down to other people's perspective, because they don't want anybody to be, quote unquote, upset or like angry because of him or because of her. Girl, I'm livid. I can't imagine how they're feeling. Honestly, in a way, it's like there's definitely like a lot of talks going on and like that we don't know of. I'm sure things were addressed. I'm sure they'll be okay. You know, I would like to believe that they're going to be okay. I guess we'll just have to see where things are within the next few days in regards to them. Like, Olandria made a tweet earlier today pretty much saying like, ciao anyways, but she did recently delete it like a few hours, like maybe an hour ago or so. But I think that's more so pertaining towards the fact that, a lot of people, there was like so many comments going through there. I would have deleted that shit too. Like, enough. Enough. Supposedly she did. Yeah, a lot of people are saying that she deleted it. Nick and Ola are respectful to everyone, even when they had all the opportunities to say something correct. Like, and actually there's a perfect example of this during the reunion when they asked Taylor if he would like to apologize, and he didn't give an apology. And instead of like saying anything and possibly being able to like actually address it right there about how that was a bullshit apology, Olandria just kind of like shrugged her shoulders, was okay, fuck it. You know, Nick kind of just shrugged his shoulders, okay, fuck it. They, as much, of course, there were times where I think they're more than likely willing to stand up and like stand on business, which I think they both did. But at the same time, it's like, but when is it enough for me to like, when am I able to shut this down or like to shut this off? You know? I can't unseen that Ace is a woman version of Huda and Amaya and a variation of Ace. I heard about that as well. I'm not sure if I ultimately agree just yet, but I'm getting that figured out if I agree or not. I feel like Nick is hiding his emotions though. Yes. And he hides them fairly well, and then he doesn't hide them fairly well. Once again, y'all, I think like the last month, people have been whacking Nick and whacking him 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 and whacking him. People have been whacking that man since before the villa was over or after, before the show was over, and they're still whacking him, right? They have been whacking him this entire time. And he's just been taking it. He's just been taking it. He's just been taking it, taking it. You know, with the fucking smile on his face. Right? The only thing that I realize that he does not take is too much Alandria disrespect. He's quick to say something about that. Quick to say something about that. When he sees it at least. When he sees it at least. Jesse, I'm not letting you up here. I'm not talking about politics. Unless you're about to talk about this, but I'm not talking about politics. Hold on, let me see. Allie, when Nick is going to see Taylor and Ace, are everybody of him? I think I said that wrong. Or ebb of him? Are you saying like jealous? I don't know. I'm sorry, Janae. Say that one more time. All of their friends are weird, and they need to focus on their friends. On their friends before the show. Oh, you're talking about the ones before the show. Yeah. Honestly, y'all, once again, I can never say that I expect any genuine like friendship to form and to continue to flourish when you guys all have been like on a reality TV show. Like, I'm not surprised that they're not close anymore. I'm surprised about how early it's been. Like a month after the show has ended, July 14th, it is currently August 27th. This ending, and it's only been a month, and there's already been so many fallings out between the Islanders, the couples, and now these like friends that we thought would have lasted for a minute. I'm just surprised by how the time, honestly. I'm surprised by that. I'm not surprised by it falling out. Let me see here, y'all. I think I'm missing something. Just like people having been whacking Ace since the beginning. Yeah, I'm not denying that. Definitely people have been whacking Ace. I think the difference is here, to be honest, Jay, is that people have been whacking Ace for like his actual behavior on the show in regards to the way that he was moving, as if he was like actively trying to lead people to do certain things or to like be a certain way in regards to their couples and like them. Like I do, like we watched that on the show. There's a reason why a lot of people felt some type of way. Hell, I didn't have that man on my list until like after the heart rate challenge. Like, come on. Like, come on. I heard Nick did Dee Dee. I don't know if that is Angel. Allie, did you see the clip where Speedy says there is a video that Ace showed him that is true about Nick? I saw that video of what he said at the Even Fish Live, but honestly, like I said, and I'm gonna say this fully, if you're not willing to quote unquote expose Nick, allegedly expose him for whatever type of person he is, then I could care less of a fuck about what you have to say. Because it's extremely manipulative to me and calculative of me to do it this way. Like, if you pulled Speedy aside and you said that he had like that you're holding on to something, I think it's worse, right? Because Ace called Alandria his homegirl, said that is her, that's his dog, that he loves and cares for her, but you're holding on to some fucking information. You're holding on to some information that can get her, that could like possibly put some light on her relationship and her connection with Nick, and about how he's not genuine. But you're not giving it? You weren't willing to like say anything? I don't think that's okay. I don't think that's I don't think that's okay at all. I don't. Ace is not a good man. I can't why people are acting like it's racism. It's his actions. It's both. Like I said, right? Let me put on my Nick glasses on. Two things can be true at once. I think I think that a part of his hate is because of him being a black man, right? And because he's an unapologetic black man, a black man that is fairly honest when he wants to be. However, I also think a part of it that makes it worse is his character, the way that he acted on the show, the way that he's been moving recently, right? Thinking that he's like Jay-Z of the Beyonce and everything. Let me see here. Y'all, I missed so many comments because I was yapping. How did they find so many unlikable people this season? Beats me. Nick has done weird things as well. People are dragging Nick for no reason. People aren't dragging Nick for no reason. I never denied that Nick deserves some lashings or some criticisms. I'm just saying that Ace deserves some of his. That's what I'm saying. Let me see here. The whole I know something you don't know is lame. Hey, I hate it with a passion. That's so stupid. If you're not going to say it, then like, I hate when people do that. Like, it honestly is such a pet peeve of mine, because it kind of reminds me of like some middle school, high school shit. Girl, I got something to tell you, but I can't tell you here, bitch. What do you mean? What do you mean? Oh, there's some tea, but I can't tell you right now. I'm just letting you know that there's some tea. Okay, well, tell me right now. I can't. Why? Why? Like, and we're not in high school anymore. These people are grown as fuck. Ace may be the youngest one that was on this cast, being 22, just now 23. Yeah, just now turning 23. Yeah. Still, very high school of him. Like, come on. It would be different if he said that shit and the reunion was like around the corner and he was like ready to do his whole expose thing and like talk his shit. But no. No. That's not what happened. So no. Fuck that. I don't care what that motherfucker has to say unless he's going to actively expose it. Could care less of a fuck. Aaliyah finding out that they are not the stars. Listen, Leo men always get whacked for this shit, and honestly, I can't help to say, but y'all that's low key y'all's fault. Leo men specifically, because I understand that Leo women, like I have a Leo friend, yeah, like there's a Leo female friend, like she's fairly conceited, right? But she does not feel the need to like go around do this and the other, yada yada yada. But those Leo men, especially a Leo man that already had a fairly large platform before going on a reality TV show, you can't tell them nothing. You cannot tell them nothing. Ace is a hater. In the same breath, he was uplifting and downplaying Alandria. That is whack. And that is another issue that I think that we should talk about. The way that it just kept on going up and down. So you love Alandria. Okay, you love Alandria, but you're going to talk shit about her man. Interesting. You love Alandria, you're going to uplift her about this, that, and the other, but you're also going to pretty much push doubt out there. Like, to me, once again, if he just focused on his love for Alandria and how he wants the best for her, that would be something where I feel like everybody would not disagree with, right? That would be something where it's okay, yes. But then for him to pretty much downplay Alandria's intelligence and discernment in regards to Nick, that's where I can't fuck with him. That's like, and I've been saying this, y'all. I have been saying this. I am so tired of people acting like they speak on Nick the way that they speak on Nick because they don't quote unquote trust him. They're doing it for Alandria and for Alandria's sake. But you guys, not y'all, but people are forgetting that she is her own person. She's a well-educated person, right? Extremely well-educated. Literally 4.0 GPA. That girl is smart as fuck. Street smart. And book smart. Y'all don't think that she's not able to read Nick the way that Nick actually is? Y'all speak on her like she's stupid. Y'all infantilize her challenges. You guys act like she can't speak up for herself, or that she doesn't know what she's doing. And that's what I will never like or appreciate. Never like that. Y'all do that to too many black women. Y'all do that to too many black women. Hell, they all even did it to Shelly with Ace. Y'all are still doing it to Shelly with Ace. Like, Shelly's not stupid either. She knows who Ace is. She knows his character, his personality. She knows that man, okay? We may not approve of it, just like a lot of y'all may not approve of Nick. But she knows that man. Women, just listen, this is what I'm saying. Let's stop acting like women are stupid when it comes down to what relationship they are in. Now, a lot of them can be blindsided. A lot of them can be like, I'm so in love, I have the rose-colored glasses on, that's that. But Shelly and Alandria, who've both spoken out about their relationships, them understanding the buildup of that connection and everything, you will never convince me that they're just being stupid. You will never convince me of that. Ever. They didn't think she would get so much love. Are you talking about Alandria? Like the attention and traction she's getting? Yeah. The shared sponsor of Crown Royal for the whole bashing of Nick Alandria was so plotted. I heard about that earlier and I didn't want to believe it. But then again, I think about Shelly's thingy and how, yeah, I was like, oh. That, and then Speedy's interview, I was like, oh. And then supposedly Taylor was sponsored by Crown Royal. Y'all don't know how to say it. As you can see, I don't drink liquor. That's liquor. I don't drink that shit. I noticed that Taylor was also sponsored in his live as well. Then giving Taylor a cop-out for listening to producers. I thought that was really interesting to me, right? Because for me, so, okay. Let's say it is true that producers influenced Taylor to keep on exploring Alandria, whatever that case may be. Let's say that is true. My issue is that Ace actively influenced Taylor to keep on exploring Alandria too. Are we not forgetting the whole aspect of Taylor going to Nick and Ace about Alandria? Are we not forgetting, or are we forgetting that Taylor literally told Ace about his physical attraction not being there for Alandria? And what did Ace say? Ace said, "Oh, well, keep it going, rock it out, see where this leads." Was that the influence that they're talking about? Of Ace being the one to do that? Was that influenced by producers? Or is that him thinking that he was being a good friend? Makes you think about it. Ace is weird. If Ace is that comfortable, imagine what they're saying behind closed doors. And that's what I think is really interesting and a little bit, I guess, a little scary. Like, I don't know these people. We don't know these people, but like, this man really felt comfortable to get on this internet and to pretty much talk shit on Alandria's relationship with Nick, and like on her man, saying that this man is fake, this, that, the other. And to this day, well, not to this day, we just found this out today. We really don't know if Ace even had a conversation with her. We don't know. We have no clue. What is the best way to get people to talk about you? Talk negative about the most talked about people? Yeah, that is true. And the funny thing is, this still backfired on him, because although people are talking about Ace, like, actively, who's the main ones that are trending? Nick and Alandria. Like, he really expected for this, like, negative information, like, this negative interview to be, like, give him more attention. And it did, but not in a good way. Because who's still fucking trending? Nick and Alandria. Like, come on now. Ooh, Oprah's back. That's crazy. You're funny as hell. Whatever Speedy think, he has old, because Ace said he hasn't spoke to Nick since the villa. And this is where I think that like, a lot of things that was said on the interview were either straight up lies, or he just wasn't telling the truth. Because for Speedy to literally get on his live and go like, You don't know the information that they're holding on to. Like, you don't know what they know. They know some things. What the fuck does Ace know if he literally already told us all that the last time he had a genuine conversation with Nick was almost 2 months ago? Like, do y'all understand how stupid that sounds? Like, it's like they keep on talking and they forget what they say. Like, once again, I'm gonna talk about another point before I forget it. When Ace was saying that like the only people like he only like cares about Shelly Olandria and like Brian, I think he mentions just somebody else, but he does not mention Nick because he was like, the real ones support me and reached out to me, this, that, and the other. Oh, okay. Interesting. But the thing is, Nick has been telling us that he's been trying to call you babes. Ring, ring, pick up the motherfucking phone. Pick up the phone, bitch. And he hasn't been picking up the phone. Nick has told us this on 3 occasions. And then on one occasion, he literally made a comment, I think, in Shelly's video or in Ace's video saying, pick up the phone. Or literally, he said it at somebody's comment. Like, he was responding to somebody's comment and saying, tell Ace to pick up the phone. Like, Nick has been telling us that he's been trying to check up on Ace, that he's been trying to reach out to Ace, and Ace is not answering his calls. And this is another reason why I think that what Ace did is so fucking calculative. This is another reason, because for you to hold this much anger, resentment, whatever the case may be, right, especially after that, I guess that comment about it is what it is, Final Four made it, for you to hold this much resentment and for you to not address it not only during the reunion, when you said that you were going to stand on business and it was going to be belt to ass. Right, you didn't do that, by the way. Not when it came down to your supposed friend, that did not happen. Instead of doing that, you decided to get on a fucking podcast, act like Nick has not been trying to reach out to you, act like Nick has not been trying to actively support you and has been actively supporting you. You're going to pretty much turn your back on him. When all he's done is say nothing, and I mean nothing but nice things to him. Like, he literally, like, Nick has already confirmed how much he thinks Shelly and Ace are cute, not only publicly, but on social media. He's already confirmed how much he thinks that Ace is his own person, that Ace is not a ringleader. He's already confirmed how much he thinks Ace is great, this, that, and the other. Like, Nick has actively been supporting this man. Actively. Any chance you get, you have Nick go like, oh, that's my homeboy, oh, that's my bestie, this, that, and the other, like, he's great, blah, 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 he's not this, he's not that, this, that, and the other. Like, Daddy Ace teammates, literally, all the fucking time. But you're mad that he made a comment about you not being fucking Final Four? Ain't that some bullshit? Ain't that some bullshit, y'all? Ain't that some bullshit? Yeah, Nick's been tagging him in posts, speaking positively on him. IDK, what Ace's problem is, I don't either. Ace is the worst. This proves it. Listen, that's the thing. I don't think Ace is the worst. I think Ace is angry right now, and he's acting like he's the worst. Because I feel like that man can be a good man. I feel like he has a good soul in his heart. But right now, he's so fucking bitter and so fucking angry that Nick is not crawling on his knees for him, that Nick is not following his lead, that he's upset about it. That's what I feel.
I'm sleepy. I'm about to go to get bed. But let me say this. That is a man who thinks that he's that guy. He thinks he's him and has had to work real hard due to his shortcomings. Right? That is somebody who truly believes that he has to be in the spotlight, thinks he's a little light-skinned leprechaun, charming, he can get away with any and everything. He went in there thinking, I'm going to come out Himothy. And he was severely incorrect. He really thought, and I'm telling you right now, America disliking him changed everything. Him finding out that America hates this man, not just that they're neutral on you or they forgot about you, they fucking dislike you. That shit ruined him. And now, all he's doing is acting out like the toddler he is. He's got the same height as him. But anyway, That's all I wanted to say. I'm about to go to bed, girl. All I'm gonna say is this. I feel vindicated and never having liked this man. I knew he was evil, light skinned, and short. I told y'all he's not worth trusting. Anyway, never trust a short light skin from LA, y'all. Bye, girl. I'll talk to you later.
Bye. Bro. Okay, I'm about to let people up so we can talk our shit and everything. By the way, don't overspeak when I let you guys up in here and everything. It's going to be an open panel. But, like, honestly, y'all, once again, I think, and if somebody said it earlier, and I said it at the beginning of my live, and I said it in my video. I made 2 videos about this shit. Once again, Ace is upset that he is not at the center of attention. Ace is upset that Nick and Alandria are so popular. He really expected that from him and Shelly. And one thing I agree with from a few people's perspective is that he was really expecting a Serena and Cordell moment with him and Shelly. He was really expecting a Cordell and Serena moment. He did not get that. He got actually completely the opposite. And I want to clarify, not to say that Shell Ace does not have any like traction, does not have any attention. But what I will say that it's going to never be compared to Serena or Cordell, and now within present time will never be compared to Nick Alandria. It can't be. It's cute. It's very much cute. But is it something that people will still talk about within a year? Probably not. And it upsets him because he knows this. He knows that he's not the moment. That's why he's angry. But anyways, let me let you guys up. Hello, ladies.
Hi, thank you so much for letting me up.
Of course. I'm not sure what y'all's opinions are. It's really just an open panel. I'm gonna let you guys talk. Please try not to overtalk each other. I would very much appreciate it. But like whoever wants to go, since I technically let up, is it Shinquel?
Shanquell, yeah.
Since I let you up first, I'm gonna let you rock out first, and then everybody can jump in.
So, I'm just gonna say I've been didn't like Ace. I think it's like what 30 or 40 episodes. Episode 7, I made a video about him, and people were dragging me. I'm like, he's weird, and everyone was like, no, he's not weird. Like, he's a black man. You have to. And I understand that. But he's been weird for a long time. Like, people have to learn how to read character. They see a face and they run with it. As long as someone looks good, they don't care about what's going on with the heart or with the mind. But he's been moving the way he's moved. And all I'm going to say is if Alandria and Nick are scamming, which I don't think they are, but if they are, so what? Let that black woman get her bag. If they want to scam,
Right.
let her run it up. And in a year,
That part.
going on about her business. But you coming on there, and I thought it was really weird because I think it was a couple of days ago, he was just partying with Alandria. So if you felt whatever way you felt about her and Nick, you was just with this girl a couple days ago. Now all of a sudden, her and Nick is a scam. Like, let them be a scam. Let that black woman run up her bag knowing everything that she's been through. You couldn't just let her have it for a couple more months. And then on top of that, like, you seen how broken she was at the reunion, saying like, oh, the whole George Floyd thing, and you decided to make it worse and be like, oh yeah, and also her relationship is fake too. And so whatever Nick did to him, which it couldn't have been that bad, whatever he did, Nick didn't bring it to the internet. You brought it to the internet. So then on top of that, like, I just feel like everything that's happening to Alandria, like, I feel so bad about her. And I'm kind of looking at Shelly weird because I feel like if you're her true friend. One thing about when you have a boyfriend, y'all pillow talk. So whatever he's saying on his interview, that's what they've been saying in that bedroom about them. And that's the real tea. And so it makes me feel bad for Alandria because Alandria been going around them as a couple because she was just with them a couple days ago. Whole time they teeing behind her back. That's really what's going on. And then as well, he's probably mad because him and Shelly, like you said, is not the main character, not the main event. But again, Shelly and Alandria are supposed to be besties. He's saying that because he has the biggest ego. He don't care about saying whatever he got to say, but Shelly's not going to come forward and say it. But whatever he's saying, that's what Shelly's saying. which makes me feel bad for Alandria because that puts her in a weird spot because she's going to lose that friendship with Shelly. Because whatever he said right here on this, live, whatever, is going to put them in a bad place. Like, I don't want to be cool with you knowing that, your man's saying this. Clearly, you're saying it too. But it's just like, I don't want to be cool with you no more, girl. We supposed to be besties to the end, whatever they was calling each other, soul sister. But yeah, I called this out season 7. That means I called this out day 7, and people were coming at me so bad. I made a video, but y'all have to stop looking at faces, learn how to read characters. He's been on this, but it's now he's like basically like a pit bull. He's turning against everybody. Okay, well, I'm going down, or y'all going down too. That's how he feels.
Yep. All right, y'all. Open panel. It doesn't have to be in order necessarily. Shazni, anybody else wanted to add their 2 cents on that? Anybody disagree?
Yeah. I'm not gonna be up here for long, so I'll just say this real quick. First and foremost, y'all are eating down. So I don't want to say too much because you guys have already said a lot of what I was going to say, but I did want to harp on what Shanquella, and I apologize if I said your name incorrectly, but I want to harp on what you said in regards to Shelly because it's making her look weird. I'm sorry, but it is. And I see in the comments that people are saying, oh, don't mention Shelly, but like we have to. Shelly and Alandria have at least branded themselves as kind of a package deal. The Bratz to the Barbie, peanut butter and jelly, that whole thing. And so when you are so publicly writing for somebody, right? And then your man goes on a podcast and shades your homegirl, you are automatically going to look weird to any normal woman, like at all. Like there's no point. Another thing that I want to think about and what I want to kind of react to is it's sad that, because we already know Huda, coulda, shoulda, woulda, whatever her name is, a couple of the other, Amaya, they have not protected the Black woman that they were also in the villa with. Okay. And in past seasons, it's obviously been a pattern. It's a consistent issue. What's really grinding my gears about this specific thing is that you guys, it's like Shelly and Ace have watched her struggle in the villa. Okay. Struggle outside of the villa. Deal with the racism and backlash. And then on top of that, now they're going to make it worse and essentially make it there's 2 sides to this. Either it looks stupid and she's embarrassed, or they're insinuating by default that she's in on it and she's a fraud. And so it just sucks because it's like I feel like she's getting targeted from all of these different directions, and it's sad that Ace has the nerve to sit up there and like, oh, I'm a Black man and my character, my kid, this and that and that. But you have no problem throwing a fellow Black woman who you say you're close to under the bus because you're mad. And to clear up what he was mad about with Nick, because at
a white man, mind you, you're upset.
Right.
Your friend who was white
Right.
did quote unquote wrong, and instead of like more so focusing on that, you decide to just completely shit on on this Black woman's intelligence in regards to her relationship.
Exactly. And my thing is that with Nick, the thing is, right, he is upset at Nick because he said, quote unquote, Nick didn't speak up for my character in the villa. I don't really recall Ace making a direct post for Alandria.
Not one.
He was not one. He was seen with her at Disney World. He was hanging out with her, but he didn't come out and make a post either. So you didn't come out and make a post for your homegirl and your homeboy's girl, but you expected him, a white man, to come and make a post for you, not because he didn't. Now you're going to throw the Black girls under the bus. It does not make sense. Boo, tomato, tomato, tomato. Wrap it up. He needs to be sent to jail. I followed him before he went on the show because I liked his little lives or whatever, and they were cutesy, they were funny. But it, like what Shanquella was saying, it took me all of 3, 4, 5 episodes for me to be like, what the hell is going on? And I'll land my plan there.
Yeah. All right, y'all, who's next?
I'll go. Hey guys, hey everyone. So I'm not gonna act like I didn't. I love late Ace. I don't love him quite as much after today, but I did love him a lot beforehand. But I will say this: the one thing I've noticed that he did exactly what he wanted, and he wanted everybody to talk about him today. And now all I've seen all day is people talking about it, talking about it. What do you do if you want people to talk about you and you think they're not? You talk about the people that's the most talked about people and talk negative about them. I've seen 25 lives right now, all on this topic. Mastermind of marketing. There is no such thing as bad press whatsoever. I do think that it is what I don't like. I call my little fake nephew. Sometimes you got to call him out. I don't like the aspect of finding out that he helped Taylor contribute to Alandria looking like she was delusional. That I don't like at all, because you sat there, you knew it, and then now when you see, if you think the same thing with Nick, and you was just out with her, that did you have a conversation with her telling her your feelings
Right.
privately? Did you see that? Because if this interview happened the day after the reunion, okay, that means that you saw her last week after you said this shit to him and was keep poo-pooing and partying, knowing that it was going to drop that you said in her relationship with Faith. So now that's going to make it feel some kind of way. If now it came out, he didn't have this conversation with her in New York, and now Shelly, that's going to put it straight on him. Like everyone said, that's the thing I just don't like about it, which has made me just not like him as much as I used to. I'm trying to give him grace because he's 24. I'm probably the oldest person on here. I'm in my 40s. So I know that look is, huh?
23.
You're 43?
No, he just turned.
He's 23. Oh my God. Extra baby. Okay. Extra baby. So he's still, his brain is not even developed, guys. 25 is when your brain gets developed. So he's in his feelings. He gone the wrong way. Just the way he found out he messed up with Jeremiah, he's going to find out he messed up here. And that's the life lesson he got to learn it. We just got to let him learn it. Because we can't live his life for him, but he about to learn.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to say, and I'm going to leave it alone.
No, and I just before anybody else jumps in, like I've been telling y'all, Nick has been, like, I mean, not Nick, Ace was on my client list, and so I feel like there's just a lot of things that he said today during his interview where I feel like people are saying he was very honest and genuine and logical, but he wasn't. There's a lot of things that he said that simply just did not make any sense. Like the whole aspect of insinuating that people had some type of STDs on the show, weird. That's weird. In regards to the cold sore, weird. I didn't like the fact that he acted like Nick, insinuated that Nick was never there for him when Nick has actively tried to reach out to him, actively tried to check in on him, and he has not been picking up his phones. Weird. There was just a few things, like I said, there were some things where I feel like was spot fucking on. Him standing up for Shelly and Alandria as Black women and as a Black man, I was like, period. I love that. But then there's other things that I feel like kind of overshadow it. Because I'm like, I'm a debater. I like to kind of like pick on things, try to figure out exactly what they mean and everything, right? So on one hand, you're saying you support Black women, this, that, and the other. They were therapists, this, that, and the other. But on another hand, you're going to be willing to talk about them or talk about one of them that you see you care about, pretty much dismissing her relationship, right? Just because you are upset with your ex, with your old friend, with Nick. There's a lot of things that I feel like was just really weird that he probably shouldn't have said, that I think that he should have been more specific on. And a lot of things don't rub me the wrong way. A lot of things rub me the wrong way because from what we've known of Ace, he's always said that he stands on business, belt to ass. That's his thing, right? Belt to motherfucking ass. But he wasn't doing that in that interview. A lot of things, like him, like not even like giving an answer about him thinking
Right.
if Nick or Alandria were real. First and foremost, is an insinuation of him not thinking it's real. And second of all, to me, once again, tells me that he does not stand on business as much as he thinks he does. He's not this big bad leader that he think he is. He's not, and that's what I'm annoyed about. Like he should have just been like firm and honest and real about it. I would respect.
It was
him a lot more
definitely-
if he was like, you know what? Nah, I don't really think it is, and it's because of Nick. I would have been like, oh, period. But he didn't. Anybody?
It was giving, I'm going to throw rocks and hide my hands with that silence. I'm going to sit there and let the internet
Alrighty.
go crazy. But then when they sit there and confront me about it. Well, I didn't actually say anything. I can't control what other people think.
But
He's
y'all
not
That's
slick.
mad
slick. Like, it's
that
not
he
slick.
did say that he insinuated it. So it
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense. Like, you mad that he insinuated it, but you mad that he was silent. Like, I'm confused. Did you want him to say it or not?
Who are you talking to right now?
The one that was talking.
Who was that?
I'm saying that I'm harping on what the host was saying in regards to Ace not standing on business the way that he said. This whole entire interview, the whole reason for him, quote unquote, airing stuff out was to stand on business. And so he insinuated a whole bunch of stuff. And then when the interviewer asked him point blank, "What do you think?" he sat there and was silent. So at that point, you've already torched your homegirl's reputation. You've already put negativity into her space more that she didn't need, meaning Olandria. And instead of at least owning up and doing what you said you were going to do, you then played the petty and the P word role, which is why I said he's throwing rocks and hiding his hands.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if Nate puts himself out to be this character or this person
He
that
didn't, though. He didn't put himself out to be that character. Everybody else did.
he did actually.
When
He
did
did
he
it
put
with the
himself
person
out
he
to be that
did.
character?
So don't interrupt me when I'm speaking, please, so I can explain what I'm talking about. There, I don't want
Okay,
like
go
I
ahead.
already said before anybody came up not to interrupt. So with what I'm about to say is that he did. He actually the very first thing he did was make that diss track. This belt to ass, stand on business. I got y'all what I can when it comes down to the reunion. You know who I am. You know my character. The second thing he did was on his live a few weeks after making that diss track is literally go like, yeah, I got y'all. Y'all know what I'm about. Y'all know I stand on business. Y'all know how I tell it as it is. And for him to then get on that podcast and not do that tells me that he's a contradiction. Do you disagree?
I disagree.
Okay.
But only because I feel like he did come out with that diss track, but after he came out of the villa and people were pinning him to be the ringleader, which I don't understand why being a leader is such a bad thing. Like, why is being a leader a negative thing? I don't
I
understand.
don't think anybody is saying. Is that just a question for in general or?
Yeah, it's a general because it's like everybody keep saying like, "Oh, he a leader. He think he." It's just like, what's wrong with being a leader? Like, when did that become a bad thing?
I don't think
Can I
anybody.
answer
I don't
that?
think anything's.
Yeah.
Can I answer that? I don't think it was an issue of whether people were questioning or saying that him being a leader was a bad thing. I think in my opinion, there was some suspicious behavior. I have reason to believe that not only Ace but Shelley were kind of like production plants or industry plants. They both seem to have a finger on controlling each of the different parts of the Islanders. Ace controlled the guys, Shelley controlled the girls. If you watch the reunion where they play back both where Taylor, Ace, and Nick are deciding on who to vote for, there's a part in there where, to me, it looked like, okay, this is something from production. And there have been other people, even celebrities, that said, is he one of the producers? Why is he such a ringleader? Why does he act like that? He's acting like he's producing the whole show. Celebrities have said that. And then when you look at where the girls are discussing whether or not to vote off Hannah, there is something that Shelley says that really also pins it for me that, they were controlling all of this the entire time. If not controlling it, but being a part of production or
The influence.
kind of manipulating things in a way to where the cast will say, well, the producers didn't tell me to do it, but they have a way of convincing you to do it. And that's because of these people, Ace and Shelley, who are manipulating everything. And
But
I
even
also
in an
think that
interview, he
scenario-
said that.
I'm sorry,
But
go ahead.
I said even in an interview, he stated that people would come to them for advice, which we also seen on the season. Like, people would come to them for advice, like the black people in general.
To be fair.
Huh?
Sorry for interrupting. I just wanted to clarify. I think he was specifying about the relationships, not about anything else.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if they come to him for advice, of course he's gonna speak on it. But it's like I understand where you're coming from because maybe he shouldn't have spoke so much about certain things. But it's like if they come into him about advice and they make it him this quote unquote leader, then of course he's gonna speak on it. Like what else he's supposed to do? Stay quiet?
Can I respond to
I
that?
do. I do think like sorry, y'all.
Can
I
I
don't want
respond?
to branch off of what T said. Like I do think there's a difference between people like giving you advice versus like literally like the whole Taylor thing, right? He said verbatim, like Taylor wasn't into Landria. He could kind of tell and was smirking about it in the interview. And yet when Jalen came into the picture, he was pushing Taylor to get to know Landry more. Lock that in, lock that in. But he already knew Taylor wasn't feeling that. But it's Love Island, quote unquote, like they say, but they're treating it like it's Friendship Island. You know what I mean? Because if he was upfront to Landry about it, she would have picked Jalen. She would have picked Jalen 100%, and Taylor would have gone home. And Ace wouldn't have liked that. Same
Can
thing
I
with
say
Hannah.
something?
Yeah.
I feel like, regardless of what's going on with Taylor, Ace, all of these people, I'm not with that it's at the expense of a dark skinned black woman.
Thank you.
And that's literally what all of this is boiling down to.
This is
because
the issue.
this girl is seeming like she's getting the most hate, and then the people that she was cool with is even turning their backs on her. So all of this is at expense of, and let's be honest, yeah, Shelly's dark skinned, but Alandria is darker than her. Is
And it's African American.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I
like,
don't want to
it's
do
like-
that, but like,
and it's like I said, it's at the expense. It's all at the expense. It's pouring down on this dark skinned black woman. And
Can I
he
men-
knew the hate she was getting and still did this.
right. It's sick. That's sick. That's a part that I'm really upset with.
I don't know
Because it's not his opinion. He's allowed to have his opinion. But if he really cared about that girl, he would have pulled her to the side.
Even with the Taylor thing, it still was everything was at the expense of Alandria at the end of the day.
And that's what
But
I
to
was saying
respond to that,
earlier, where
Andrew,
I don't
the-
like that I feel like she's getting attacked on all these different sides. And I really feel for her because I feel like, honestly, us as Black women on this panel, I feel like we individually have experiences that correlate and to where we can relate to where, we're really not doing anything, but just our aura, whatever it is, hate or whatever type of excuse it is, we're just getting the crap end of the stick over and over. And there have been people in our lives that should have helped us out and should have reached out a hand, but didn't. You know what I'm saying? And I'm seeing this happen to Alandria in real time. And that's why I'm so upset with this whole Ace situation, because he's been one of the loudest to be like, oh, you're bullying Shelly. Oh, you're bullying me. I'm a black man. I'm a strong black man. But the only person that you're throwing under the bus is Alandria. You got to make it make sense for me. It's not. I'm sorry. It's not it.
Can I make a comment about not only the podcast, but also Taylor's Live and Shelley's Party? Apparently, all three were sponsored by Crown Royal.
Yeah.
And I'm also very suspicious of whether a lot of this was motivated by Ace. Because he did not make the top four, he can't ask for top four prices for club appearances.
He did make that comment. Oh, look at that top four. Look at that
He
four.
cannot make, yes. Look how many
He's
many
jealous.
dates that Nick is getting. Nick is booked like almost every weekend, almost every day. He's always doing something. He's booked because he didn't even win. He was a runner up. Him and Olandria were the runner ups. So he can ask for that top price. The Ace can't do that because he wasn't even top four.
Right.
That's money
I
out
still
of his
think
pocket.
Shelly and Ace
So
should
how
have
do
won.
you
I don't
make
care
up
what
for that
nobody
money that's not in your pocket? You have to somehow present yourself. You have to up your game. You have to up your engagement. You have to up your viewership. Why do you think the Casa Boys were online 50 million times a day doing that stupid dance or that stupid song? Because you only saw them for like 5 seconds on the show, and they had to increase their visibility.
Good evening, everyone. Is it okay if I just add a comment real quick?
Yes, and I'm just going to say this really quickly. I want to reiterate and clarify. Let's say this is my thought process. Let's say that Ace did directly speak to Alandria about his concerns and his suspicions with Nick. Let's say he did that with Alandria. The issue to me now lies that you decided to fuck up her bag. Now you're saying you're actively, because if that's true and she's obviously have not come out and said anything yet, right? If it is true, she's like, I'm gonna rock it out. For you to get on that interview and literally pretty much insinuate that Nick and her are not real, to me it's like, okay, then you're possibly fucking up potential chances of not only them as a pair, but possibly her as an individual, because once again, she's going to be seen as a scammer to a lot of people.
Those scratches on Nick's back look pretty real to me.
Period. Period.
I feel like whether they're real or not, and I've been rooting for them, but I really don't care if they are or they're not. I just want her to get her bag. I don't care when they get on stage, they punching each other. I don't give a damn. Let that black woman get her
that's
bag.
what I'm saying. On there's no level that this is okay that he did. I'm sorry, there's no level that he's looking out for it, because even if she's a scammer and they've been scamming since the beginning, why are you messing up your homegirl's bag because you're mad that a guy didn't do what you didn't do? You didn't do it either. So
Question for the group: how much money do you think that Nick and Olandria made since they've left the villa as a couple?
I'd say it's in the six figures.
That
It's in the six figures.
because that lip stuff is gone. Nick, the NYX is gone.
Yeah, they keep restocking it. It keeps going back
Yeah,
out.
it's got to be in the six figures at least.
And money will do that.
I think Olandria can
will.
get a bag without Nick.
Oh yeah.
Just so
Right.
I still want to be
Absolutely. I
together.
mean, she's already getting a bag
So she
without
definitely
Nick.
get a bag with him.
Yeah, she's already getting a bag without Nick. But I'm
Right.
just saying that him insinuating that still pushed the fact of like suspicion on her. Like, first and foremost, we can
Yeah.
one thing we can agree with is that this pushed a lot of hate towards her again. One thing we can agree with that this pushed a lot of hate.
That's
towards
the
her.
worst thing.
And not only did it do that, but now people are like their eyebrows are being raised because they're wondering if she's scamming as well.
And
For the bag, and that could become a problem regarding other brand deals and such. That's the only thing I'm worried about.
I feel like
I want to hear from Candy, and I want to go back to hearing from, I think it's Meek, because she just haven't been able to speak as much. Candy, what did you want to say?
Well, first off, thank you for allowing me to speak, and hi everyone. I hope you're having a good evening.
Hi, Candy.
I laugh at myself and my husband. I'm 43, and me and my cousin, who's around the same age, we was like, we can't believe we're this invested in people that are old enough to be our children or our nieces and
Girl,
nephews.
my mama's 55.
Right there, I'm with you.
I'm 54.
Okay, see, I don't feel that
Right.
bad. I know.
You
And
were
it felt
fine.
like, cause my niece, I went home to visit my niece, and she sat down next to me, and she's like, "Are you a Huda fan?" And she's biracial, and I had to say, "Oh, sweeties, come on, listen, come on in. You have to have a talk with Aunt." And I broke it down in front of my mom, and I let her know, like, this is why I never tried to tell her why I did. I never made her feel bad about how she felt, but she left that conversation just saying, "Hey." Then I broke it down based off of how she was treating the black man, because in her home she does not have that black man. She does not see that black man, but they see a black man. Their proximity to black men is me and my husband, and they respect him. But with that being, that's just separately. But what I see right now, because like I said, I'm trying to look at from everybody's perspective, and we're only getting a little bit of the information. And clearly, I see it this way: is this caught Nick off guard, but everybody had that. Just like we say that Ace has discernment, we have, and the ones that are 54, if we're older, we have more wisdom and discernment because we've been here longer. Me too. We saw certain things, but what I'm even learning now at my age is sometimes you got to let them reveal themselves. And one thing that I saw that everybody understood was we saw that one girl tell those children yesterday at her alma mater that she kept God first. She's used to being alone. She's used to having to move alone. And that's why she can hear God. When God speaks, she can hear. She's known how to move. That's why when she left that villa, we saw how she left with such grace and poise. And it brought me to tears because when she held her face. And what did she say? She said, "I am sad because I'm leaving my people." Hello. She had her Moses moment. Okay. But it was just not her Moses moment. It was her Harriet moment. But like I said, she is amongst greatness, and God knows that. So I am thankful, and I don't want to sound religious, but this did not happen for a reason. And sometimes, but too, you got to remember, she's entering rooms where she is in greater proximity. So it's best that this is revealed now than later. And that's where I'm at. I'm not going to talk about Ace because he has a lot of growing up to do. And we got to think about it. Shelly and Taylor and Ace and Clark thought they were the top 4. They thought they deserved to be there. But the way God has lined up things for Orlandria, her name, is everybody cares about her being hurt. I have love for Shelly. I have minimum to little love for certain people out of that group, the other ones. But I have that love because we share something in common. We have Black love. And I hate to separate certain things, but it's true. And I hope everybody learns. But I do not like them attacking one person to get, and they don't care who's the casualty. And people are still moving like they're in the villa. And that's where I'm going to leave it at.
Preach.
Yeah.
There was one content creator who said that that Ace's behavior was very, very LA coded, like very much what people in LA who are trying to, make it big in Hollywood. That's what they do. That's what you see all the time, and that's what it looks like to me. Very, very LA. Very tear your friends down so that I can get some visibility.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree. I think Orlandria is highly blessed and favored. She's going to continue to say that, and I think that is 100% her brand. So although I know that she's going to definitely rap outside of Nicolandria, because she's not just that, right? She's Orlandria. She's Bama Barbie. Like, put some respect on that woman's name. And I mean,
she could be a real high fashion model if she really tried. Her facial features is insane.
It's truly insane. I can't get over it.
Respect on her name. Put some respect on her name.
Yeah, when she was just laying there doing that live, like the first day when they got back, just putting her hand on her head, she looked like she was modeling.
Like,
it was perfect.
Extremely photogenic.
Bare face.
Extremely photogenic.
Bare face.
That's why they mad. She's perfect.
Beautiful.
Yes, girl.
It's what photographers love.
I will say nobody does her makeup as well as her. I will say they've been dropping a little bit. She does her makeup point. Now you gotta listen. That light stuff was because she was getting darker because she was in Fiji. So
yes,
I said her that light under her eyes because she was getting darker.
And she still pulled it off.
And one thing about Nick, he's been making sure she gets to the bag. Like she was saying how every brand deal that he gets, he literally says, can she be a part of this? Like he's been literally putting money in her pocket. And a thing about Ace had 1 million followers on TikTok before the show. I would see him scrolling on my For You. What he thought that him and Shelly was going to have a Serena and Cordell. It didn't happen like that.
Exactly.
And he got mad. They were supposed to be the Serena and Cordell. So then when he seen that they weren't, he's like, well, I'm already the villain. I'm going to just take it a step further. But now it's Orlandria and Nick on top. He does not like that. He wanted to be that Serena and that Cordell, and he's not. He was going on there for the fame. That's really what he was going on there for.
Okay.
Quick question. During Family Day, did the family get in trouble? Did Nick's family get in trouble for mentioning the whole Nicolandria thing?
Y'all, one moment, y'all. I'm so sorry. I don't want us to forget. We got to get Meek to speak, y'all.
I'm sorry.
2 minutes ago that she can add her. She can jump back.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the conversation.
Girl, I'm so sorry.
Because I'm probably the only one that don't agree with the conversation.
That's why I want you to speak. I want to make sure. Like I don't want you to feel like this is like weird or anything. Like people disagree with me all. Listen, I'm a debater. People disagree with me all. So you're good. If you disagree with something, girl,
just a little bit less, but I still like this.
It's not that I disagree with what he did. Okay, so my thing is, I don't agree with how he came about it. Like, obviously, he stated the obvious for me. It's like they was forced together. We seen them leave the villa and have a choice to either leave or get together as a couple. Like, that was literally the only option. So they got together as a couple. And, like, even when they decided to...
the fact, are we not, though? Because that's true. But are we not talking about the last coupling got Meek?
Yeah, so then they decided not to couple up, and then they got back together after Sierra had left. So, but even if Sierra wasn't left, he would have still been with Sierra. And then even before that, he was flip-flopping with him and Bella. So I really don't know where Nick stands. Like, even if he does like Orlandria, good for him. And I don't like the way that Ace came about it, but it's still like I don't like how people are coming for Ace. It's just like it's too much going on, especially when we keep pulling up black, 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 black. If you gonna stand up for black people, then stand up for black people. Don't bring him down when white people gonna do it. Like it's like we I don't know. It's contradictory.
Wait, what do you
Orlando was the only
But
black
I
person I
think this
liked
is
this
what he
season.
wanted, though.
Everybody
He
else.
wanted
Oh,
everybody to
wait.
talk about him.
Wait, y'all. Me, can you repeat? Can you repeat the last part? I just didn't hear it. You said, What about? I'm sorry, I just missed it. What did you say?
I don't know what you mean.
Uh, you were saying something about white people.
Yeah, I was saying like if we gonna say like black people, we keep pulling up like black people we getting racism and stuff for Elizabeth. I understand that, but it's like he's a black man, and we're the loudest talking about his situation and what happened when he already gonna have hate on it, and all I see is black people hating on him.
Oh, okay. Now this is an interesting perspective, and I'm gonna rock with you here. I can definitely see where you're coming from, right? You're saying that if Ace is already getting a lot of severe hate himself, not only because he's a black man, but because of his character, why are we adding more to it, like the field, like the fire,
Yes.
the fire? I get that. I get that. Now, for me personally, like I said, I don't know when you came in here, Meek, but like I said, I'm only speaking about the things that he said in the interview, right? If I'm like, and there's the things that I feel like he straight up is contradicted himself, but I'm not gonna lie, and this is one thing you'll have to know about me. As pro-black as I am never not going to hold a black person accountable.
Here we go.
Amen.
Y'all, listen.
Here we go.
It very much is every vote for everybody black, which is why to this day I still hope the very best for Taylor and Clark, despite me not liking Taylor. Despite that, I still hold him accountable for shit. Just like I hold Alexandria accountable for certain things that she did in the villa, just like I hold Shelly accountable for certain things that she did in the villa as well. What I'm not going to do is not talk about it just because I support Ace as a black man. My issue with him is the way that he's been speaking as a black man regarding a black woman. Not only that, but the way that he's been a little bit contradictory within his the interview itself. There's a few things that people have already clocked him on and pointed out that he straight up either forgot or lied about things that happened in the villa and about the way that conversations happen. I can't to like literally admit that and like, or not admit it, but like agree with those things because it's true, you know?
I guess it is true. It just breaks my heart, like reading his comments and all the hate that he's getting. It just hurts. Like it just,
I get that.
if it was the other way around, if it was me, like even Shelly, like the hate that she's getting, like we've all seen it and we all are hurt about it. It's the same way for him. Like it's the same hurt.
And I get that, and it's honestly that's the issue. The one thing that, like I think I said this before, Love Island, especially this season, made me want to. I don't never want to watch Love Island again, y'all.
Me either, girl. I'm done.
I'll be right there.
All those
Season
fake
8.
shows ruined everything.
Yeah, it's
Honestly, it was
way
the
that they
it was the
treat
racism
black
for me. It wasn't
people,
even a drama.
the way that they've been treating black people the last few episodes, like the way that they even tried to like spin that Serena conversation last year, the way that they have been trying to spin Shelly and Alandria as these these huge mean girls and so on and so forth. I just don't appreciate it. The way
I'm
that
over
they
it.
still
I'm
gave
not
them
doing it.
a bad edit during the reunion.
Yeah.
I don't think I truly can't fuck with them like this like that anymore. Like
I will say though,
I really
like,
do understand where you're coming from, Meek, in regards to that.
Wait, watching it again? I'm not watching it again either, girl. No.
I'm not
Because
watching
I don't even like the way Ariana Madix was fueling on the fire when it came to them too. She was like, I don't like girl. Nobody like. It's just too much. It was just too much. She could have been neutral as a host.
Yeah, I get that.
And I also feel like Ariana, I'm sorry, but she had a clear disposition and a clear bias towards Huda and Amaya.
Yep.
Huda
that
would do
again,
the
2 times
craziest,
for the back.
foulest stuff. And then she'd come on like, Huda, are you okay? Does anyone have anything to say to it? What? Why are we calling this girl? Why isn't this girl off your show?
Yeah. But we have to remember she's still part of production too.
Yep.
Yeah.
But see, at the reunion, I think she was clocking Hood a little bit more.
A little bit, but
reunion.
that's
She
because
kinda
she had. But mind you, that was after the whole entire world was like, other than the teenagers that are obsessed with Huda, the rest of the world, the rest of the people that have developed minds and brains were telling her, hey girl, you're probably not on the right, like, I don't think that this is like it. And I think that that's why they did that. And even then they gave her way more grace and mercy, and they were way calmer than anything. Because did you see her post after the reunion where she essentially called out Andy Cohen for bullying? And I'm like, you girl, if you think you're big and bad, you would not have survived a Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion with Nene, Phaedra, okay,
Or Jersey.
She's not even Beverly Hills. She
Kenya.
can handle that.
Right.
She'll be lucky if she ever works on TV again after that Andy Cohen
Girl,
thing.
yeah, she's done.
She'll
Like,
be lucky if she could buy a TV
You know-
at Best Buy after that.
She will never
You
work
know
in
what?
this town again.
Somebody on here made a great comment. Somebody made a great comment. They said, Ariana was the Huda on What's Her Face. Because if you look at the clips, her mouth is just like Huda's. She called What's Her Face a bitch and so that might be why she a little. I mean, he deserved it.
Yeah,
but
she
still,
got cheated.
She got that mouth. She got that mouth, so she understood
I
that mouth.
will admit that's even a lot differently. I hate to say, I don't think it's even comparable, and I'm gonna give a little bit Ariana some slack, just a little bit, because she did that during the reunion after finding out all the shit that her best friend and her man did. So I think that's a little different than the way that.
No, I'm just saying.
She
No, I
likes
think
her,
that
how
she says that she took it personally, and she, like, because she has trauma, she kind of related to Huda without realizing, like, you know what I mean? Like, kind of like, because I think at first, without anyone else, because it's very easy when you're dealing with, especially a female manipulate. Like, I'm sorry, like, us women, when we know how to do it, like we can turn it on. And so when you're dealing with a manipulator and you don't have the outside thoughts or third party non-biased opinions, it's easy to get sucked in, especially when you have a personal trauma towards that thing.
Yeah, and I do want
Wasn't
to.
Ariana
This
married
is
to a
off
scammer?
topic, but I also want to point out really quickly. I did think it was interesting. I think Ariana said this like a week ago or so in an interview of hers. She says that the way that Shelly and Alondria articulate themselves is so well, and she does not even think at her age, her big age, mind you, that she could ever talk the way that they talk. To me, that's one.
Because they don't have to.
And they will never have to.
They will never have to, ever. She never has to learn that
Yeah,
trait
that's
ever in
what
her
I was
life.
going to say. Black
I think
women
that is what they
have
call a
to-
bar.
Always have to find our words
Right.
and say
That was
it
a
in
bar.
a particular manner to where not only
That was law.
is it cut and clear, but they have to say it in a way to where it's not going to quote unquote hurt people's feelings. And Ariana, I guess, is not used to that. So when she gave, like, she thought that was some type of compliment, and maybe to some it is, but as a Black woman myself, that's not no fucking
That's
compliment.
a learned trait that we naturally
It's not no compliment.
have. And I went to school in a predominantly white area. My parents would always tell me you have to be twice as good as them to get half of what they have. So that's a learned
Right.
trait we actually just naturally have
Right.
to learn. She'll never have to learn that if she doesn't want to. And that's just for the average, non-Black woman.
Which
But
is
I
why
will
Huda
say-
can get away.
why she can get away. But I will say, Meek, I don't know if I said I'm sorry. If I
That's
said-
right, Meek. Yeah.
when you said like being about pro-Black, I'm pro-Black, absolutely. But if I'm being real specific, I'm pro-Black woman first and foremost. Second, I'm pro-Black. So, and then if we want to get real specific, I'm pro dark-skinned Black woman. Then I'm pro-Black woman. And then I'm pro-Black. In that order. And so when it comes to Ace in this whole situation, I rode for him up to episode 7, and then I seen character. So then that's when I'm like, okay, something's not right. And so even down to this situation here, it's not that we were all jumping on him because everyone rode for him. But then this specific situation, when is it going to be, okay, I'm going to keep riding for you, even at the expense of a Black woman. We're still supposed to ride for him, even though he just threw this Black woman under the bus, threw her bag under the bus, threw whatever
Right.
dream she had that came out of this villa under the bus. And
The
we
bag
still have
is
to
really what
ride for
gets me,
him. No, I'm
personally.
not doing that.
Yeah, he
So
threw the
bag
whole
gets
group
me.
under.
Yes,
threw
so
the
I'm
whole
pro
group under.
dark skinned Black woman, then I'm pro Black woman, and then I'm pro Black. Because that's not fair. Like, and we're still expected to give him grace, even though he just literally could have possibly ruined her career. Not saying that he did, but it could
doesn't have
add
the power
more
to do
hate
that.
to it.
No,
what
honestly.
she's going through.
And may I say, just real quick, this is really, I love the fact that you clocked it. The financial aspect of it is really what grinds my gears. He is a black man, okay, that has had a couple of years of streams and streams and streams. Homeboy is a millionaire. He came on that show with multiple houses, this and that, and I'm in LA, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. He has had his career and has been, got to the back. Alandria came on the show getting it off the mud.
Yep.
Okay. Every single cent that she has earned that's been big has been after this show. So why would you, even if they were faking it, why would you do that? Why would you blow her bag up? This is how she's gonna feed her little siblings, her family, her mom, your friend. You see what I'm saying? And for you, when you're at a place where you're already wealthy, you already have something to show for. You came on the show with something to show for. So how dare you? Not only are you ruining her image and adding to her emotional aspect, but you're taking food out of her and her family's mouths at this point now.
I don't know.
Now I'm really pissed because I was getting to the point, because I am pro-black. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Finish.
No, I was just gonna just to land my plane. I was, because with me, I feel you, girl. I followed Ace before he went on the show, and I liked his dance videos and whatever, and him bringing up the belt, like it was funny. And so when he went on the show, I was ready to take him home. I was ready to vote for him and have him win with whoever the heck he went for. But I cannot condone this. I can't step behind this. And he pissed me off early on. And because he's a black man, I was like, let me give him grace. I'm giving grace to these white characters on the show, and this and this and that and that and that. We can give grace to Huda before the whole Chris thing and all that. Why can't I give grace to Ace? Why can't I do that? I have black brothers. I get it. But this interview, I'm sorry, that is my last straw. He's done. He has a spot in hell, as far as I'm concerned. He is off. Oh no! I'm sorry. He is done. He's done.
I don't know.
Has Nick responded?
But I
No.
know Nick on my client list. He's not on my client list.
He's off.
Nick is
sorry.
not responding
So what-
to. He's going to get dragged if he responds.
Yeah.
How petty do you think Nick's gonna be? Because Nick was extra petty to Sierra, because she posted that thing in Greece, and where he to Greece.
My thing
So
is,
what do you
though,
think?
I hate to say this, but I feel like I don't think, as much as people think that Ace is gonna come back and pop out, I don't think he's gonna do that, y'all. I'm gonna be real with you.
You mean Nick?
I would rather what I want him. Listen, now this might be just of me, but two things for me first and foremost. Him and Ace had a really strong bond. He really thought that was his guy for real. With Sierra, it was completely different with Sierra because he cared for the girl, but he never really saw anything for the girl within the future. He thought that Ace and him would be locked in together forever as friends, that was his homeboy saying when it came down to Taylor. So for him, I think this is more of a genuine betrayal than he ever felt with Sierra. So if he does say something, and this is where the pettiness thing comes from, I hope that he cries. I hope that he tears up. I hope snot comes out and everything. I hope that he makes the biggest deal out of it. Because that's what I want to see. That's what I want to see personally. Because I don't think it would be good for him to pop off in anger, because people already hold suspicion to him. But if he flipped on them and he showed,
He needs to white woman tears it. He needs to white woman.
Oh no, you guys.
I need to see those tears, baby.
How can
okay?
you say this about me?
You want me?
I thought we were
tears?
friends.
I need to see those tears, baby. Okay.
He's going to have to, because if he doesn't and he pops off the way Ace did, it's so much racism on this season. They're going to call him racist if he does pop off the way Ace. So he'll have to
That's why I
cry.
don't want him.
or
That's
ignore
exactly
it.
why I don't want him to be I don't want him to if he does say something, I don't want it to be out of I don't want him to do it out of anger because first and foremost, that is going to push a lot of more racism towards Ace. Like I said, I know he's not my client, but we don't want that. What we do want is for him to cry a little bit. That's what we want.
Yeah, but Nick isn't.
But mind you though,
But
I
when
don't
Nick
think that
do
Ace-
mind you
daggers,
though,
Nick
Nick
does
is a
daggers in
Pisces
funny
man.
way. When he does daggers, he does it in a funny way. He's not doing it in a. He's never been like at somebody. So if he's gonna do it, he's gonna do something. You know, he's gonna do it in a creative way if he is gonna do it. But he's gonna say something. He ain't gonna just let it ride.
I don't think that Ace has to worry about retaliation from Nick. I think Ace needs to worry about Olandria's father.
Oh yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Good point. Good point.
What happened?
Yep.
Wait, hold on. If you don't know the story about that, look up what GD means, y'all. Thank you. Anyways, with that being said, we're gonna move on. We're not gonna say too much. I don't hear. We're not gonna say
What
too
did
much.
DDG do?
But I
Don't
also want
please
to
don't
clarify.
trigger me.
I also want to clarify that actually sounds really bad because now it's
No,
like
that's
we're
his nickname.
promoting G violence, and I don't want to do that. GANG, by the way, not GUN.
Oh, okay.
So let's take that back. Actually, it was a little funny. I did laugh, but I did laugh. But honestly, I think that what I expect is for Olandria to say something. Now, mind you, the reason why I say this is because did you guys watch her interview with the Modern Love interview?
Some of it, not all of it.
The one from the day.
So in this interview, she pretty much explains why her and Nick haven't like really came out as official or anything. You know how they're private people, and the reason why she's wanting to keep it that way is because there are too many people that are whacking Nick, and she sees herself as a part of Nick. Like that's how strong their connection is. So that's what I said. But to me, with us understanding with like the way that Nick was very protective of Olandria and how Olandria is protective of Nick, now that we're actively hearing her vocalize that, I can expect her to say something before Nick does. I really can.
I want to see what Shelly's going to say. That's what I want to
Nothing.
see.
Nothing.
That part.
Nothing.
Because you're supposed to be her bestie to this.
No.
No,
He's not gonna
Olandria
say
is her
anything.
I'm not
bestie.
gonna say
He's
anything.
not gonna say a word.
And I hate to say
She was
that.
posted up with
And I hate to say
404.
that, y'all, but I really think that what Shelly's going to try to do is try to like ignore it because first and foremost, I think she's going to like I don't think she wants to even speak on what her man said. I don't think that she wants to be pushed up, like wants to be a part of that. But in all honesty, I will say, as of recently, in regards to her birthday pictures that she posted earlier, and on her story, she ain't had shit. Olandria wasn't in one picture. Olandria wasn't in one thank you appreciation at all.
She didn't. I just feel
And she was at the party.
Nothing.
I saw clips from fan pages.
She
I
was.
didn't
And
see
that's all I'm
that
going
Shelly
to say.
posted.
That's all I'm going
Right.
to say. That's all I'm going to say.
Right.
She didn't
Yeah, they were on
thank her.
stage twerking together.
Y'all,
Olandria was invited to that birthday just to make sure that people came in and they got their bonuses for people coming in the door and liquor prices.
No, and she knows the clout, and that's why I need Alandria and Nick to be a little bit meaner, and I need them to realize that they are being like, and that's why us like I will always stand for a black woman, especially a dark skinned black woman, being a quote unquote bully. Because I don't know. Wait. In the sense that,
I'm a chocolate one too.
not
And they
that. I'm
always
not
say
saying I'm
that
not saying
about
a
me.
bully.
I'm not
I
a
mean, in the
bully.
sense that where
I'm
she's
just
willing to
direct.
get mean to stand up for herself. Does that make
Yes.
sense?
Yeah, she has
Where
to be direct.
she's willing to be direct. She's willing to cut people off. She doesn't give a million chances. She doesn't wait until they've destroyed her entire income and her brand in order to say something or do something. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, I get you, sister. I really do. I think right now for me, I think they need that she one named it. Let them have their Jay-Z and Beyonce moments, and when they address it in the magazines on a cover shoot. You address it down the catwalk during New York Fashion Week or Milan Fashion Week. You address it, Nick DJing. You put on a specific song for your haters. Let them
That's
sub.
exactly
I'm
what
telling
I'm
you,
doing.
they're not the same.
Yeah.
These people, they're not in the same room anymore, and that's what it. That's it. We got to remember too. They've been. This also too was some type of study. This is a social experiment. So now these people are leaving them. They're leaving them behind. So it's some type of detachment issues there too. And I think I'm gonna say it again. I'm just gonna be more direct with it.
I think Ace did something out of hurt because this is all I'm going off of the facts of what was said on another edited show and podcast. And I think he did something that could potentially, and then Taylor backed it up, that could potentially hurt pockets for not just him, himself, Ace, but Taylor, Clark, and Shelly. I don't think our sister Alondria is going to be affected by this, nor Nick.
At
I don't.
all. I don't think she's gonna be affected by it at all.
I will also.
Not at all.
I will say, and I hope that that's the case as well. I really hope that that doesn't bring anything out of for anybody, and I hope that everybody can continue to have their bag and everything. But what I do want to reiterate and say that when it comes down to Shalandria, y'all gonna hate me for saying this, but I'm still for them. I'm still for Shalandria, y'all.
Me too. Same.
Listen,
I'm all for Black.
what is
Shelly needs to get away from Ace.
Listen, with me pointing out the whole, I'm not, but listen, like I said, two things can be true at once. One thing that you will not see me do is, once again, shut my mouth just because to protect somebody. When it comes down to Shelly, I will admit, I do think it's weird that she has not even like mentioned her soul sister in regards to appreciation. But then again, at the same time, this was her birthday. Why she doesn't have to do that?
Right.
I also want to point out that these people literally know each other in real life. They talk to each other outside of what we see. So I do have to reiterate that. In regards to the way that Ace, and I agree with Kenny when she said this earlier, in regards to Ace and Nick and whether they had the conversation, I don't know. In regards to his feelings and everything, I really don't know if they had this conversation, just based off the reaction that Nick had earlier today when he said that he started off with this day as like a 10 out of 10 and now it's like a 4. Like, I really think, and I think we were talking about it earlier, I really think this blindsided him, and I was just like, fuck. Like,
Nick was promoting Ace's drop, this YouTube drop. Nick was promoting this. Nick, hours before this was dropping, was posting, oh, y'all go to my blog, blow us up and stuff up. We just sit there and watch that, and then watch him like say the things he said. Can you imagine?
I forgot about that. He did.
Yes, he sat there. Ace did that today.
Ace said in the interview that they hadn't talked since the reunion, right?
Which is a lie.
He said something like that. That they
2 weeks ago. That's a lie.
No,
they've been on live since.
He did, but that's I don't believe it because hear me out. They saw each other at least 3 times even before the reunion. Of course, those few times right after the show when they had those few interviews and then the tension was high. But they also saw each other during that Selena Gomez meetup. I don't know if you guys remember, but Nick was like really all over Ace, right? Like they were around each other. Now, this is why I think it's interesting because maybe for Ace, he was probably thinking, when is the best time to bring it up? You know, like when do I bring up this feeling that I have for like an old friend of mine about like how I feel like they were fake with me or that they haven't been supportive or real with me? That definitely might be a perspective that he was thinking about. But if it is true that he did not speak to Ace, Ace had no clue about how that conversation was going to go in regards to not only the doubt of him and Alandria, but the doubt of his character. If that is true, that this has happened, right? Then to me, it makes me wonder why he got his behind on this interview to say this shit about him, you know?
So I think it was because they said that Ace basically was mad that Nick said something about the Final Four. The Final Four, that's who was supposed to be picked.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Ace mad, but that shouldn't have made you mad. If y'all were really
It should not have made him mad at all.
Like,
not only
weird.
that, production during the reunion pulled up the receipts and they showed Ace and Shelly in the bottom. I'm sorry, but they showed them.
Somebody really quickly, y'all. My friend Lena says Ace wanted Nick to speak up for Shelly. He did like 3 times, maybe 4 times since the show's been over. He did it. The very first thing he did, baby, this is Keke Palmer, is really talk about how strong of a connection they freaking had. You know, to be fair, that was the first thing he did. He agreed with Andrea when it came down to her saying that they could go all the way and being married and being coupled up. He did it in Ace's birthday shout out appreciation, saying Team Shalace. He did it during his reunion watch party when it came down to them being cute, and he did it during his event literally like 2 days ago about how how like beautiful they look together. He's done it 5 times, to be fair. He's
Like,
constantly talked about how much he thinks Shalais could go far and how he cares about them and how strong they are, to be fair. So if that's his contentions, which I don't think that was a part of it, I guess. But then that's where I say that Ace maybe wasn't paying attention. He was so hyper focused on the whole Final Four thing that he hasn't been paying attention what other things that Nick has been saying. Nick has
I'm
actively
saying
supporting them out loud.
Nick's been
He knows
putting, and that's
that.
what I'm saying. Nick, that's my. I'm sorry. I don't like to sit here and act like, I don't want to sit here and be like the cheerleader for white man. But this, I want us to take note. What Nick is, no, seriously. But like what Nick is doing right now
It's
is what an ally is supposed to be doing. He is the black
White
people
man did it in
his
1
life.
week.
Okay, Shelly, Ace, Olandria, even Taylor with his goofy behind south. He has been. Don't get me started. He's been putting them all on. You guys have to also understand. His mom was in Vogue in the 80s and 90s. His parents have money. He has been putting them on actively. Has been promoting them on the social. So when Ace sits there on the camera and says, "Oh, Nick didn't stick up for me," I'm like, he didn't stick up. Okay, he might not have said anything directly, but he definitely plugged you into that $1 million deal, right? He put money in your pocket. He made sure that you were eating. He made sure that you were and so I'm not saying that he should be praised for this and that he should be bowed down to anything, but I think that should be taken into consideration. And I don't want that to be glazed over, because if you look at the other white cast members, what are the white cast members have put them on? The way that Nick has put them on. No, for real.
No,
None
for
of them are
real,
making
for
any
real.
money, honey.
Like,
None of them
I
are making any
mean,
money.
and Nick hasn't put on any of the white cast members. He's only
No,
been
he did with
focused on the
TJ.
black
He did with
cast
TJ.
members.
Nick.
So he gets an A for me for
Now, TJ
allyship.
surprised him.
It's only an
Personally.
A, not an A plus. The fuck?
Right. And well, because the A plus is going to be consistency. So we'll see.
Like Chesney
You know what I
said,
mean?
I'm
But
not trying to be no white man cheerleader, but no, for real, he has really put them on. Like I said, he's been putting money in Alandria's pocket. Every brand deal he's got, Alandria literally says that he negotiates for her to be in it.
Right.
Like, and then like they had pulled up his college pictures. He had all black friends in college.
he did.
Like,
Look, he went to FAU. I went to FAU. I'm in Florida. I'm in South Florida.
isn't that an
He,
HBCU?
no, it's not, but it could be, maybe. It could be. It's in Boca, but it is. I did not feel out of place.
He's
And I'm
definitely
going to tell you, there's not a lot of black people there, but there's enough. But I'm telling you, there's not a lot of us there. So Nick had to seek them out. Okay, Nick seek them out. He it's not an HBCU where he just was surrounded by them. He found them. There's not a lot of YNs that go to FAU. Okay, so he found them. Nick found them.
He's definitely an
And
ally, though. He's definitely an
I
ally.
think one
Like-
thing about Nick, though, to be fair, is like he's very multicultural. Like his friend group, like his outside of the villa, is very, very like large. Black
Right.
friends, Hispanic friends, white friends, so on and so forth, and all in between. And I think that's why Nick got along with so many people and why he had so many like things and like critical thinking skills. And I said it earlier, and I want to reiterate. I think a lot of people don't like the fact that Nick was willing to hear people out. And was willing
Right.
to
He's better like PR. I don't like to say PR, but he's better at like articulating himself than Ace is. 'Cause Ace
He's
is
emotional.
And not only
Very
that,
diplomatic.
though, but like people don't like the fact that Nick is very much like a however or but guy, right? It's like, I understand how you're feeling. However, this is also true. I get where you're coming from, but this also happened. And people don't like that when it comes down to Nick, because it shows to him how he's not ultimately always picking a side type of guy.
He practiced what's it called, diplomacy. He can see, yes, he can see both sides. Yeah, and I want to bring something up because I thought, first off, I'm sorry to keep laughing when the other young lady was speaking, but when you was talking about Taylor, all I could think about was when somebody said dready locks. Like,
Me too,
I
3
just
dreads.
was like, oh my! I was like, stop it, stop! I was like, you too old for this. But Y'all remember that one friend that Ace had, Cookie or whatever her name? When you know the saying, "Show me your friends, and I'll show you who you are." Show
Right.
me your friends, and I'll show you who you are.
Oh,
And
clock
I
it,
mean,
auntie.
I'm. Thank you.
Someone might say about Miguel, then we don't know.
No, because you were eating, girl. Like you were
Yeah, no.
eating.
I'm gonna say this. That's why I said, like, I still, and I agree with you guys. Or you know, I can't. I'm showing Ace some grace because of his age, and he. But I'm gonna say this too. When you think you're supposed to be in this position because he's quick to, but people say that I needed this money. Or we're past that. We know you didn't need that money. Those who followed you, because I followed him. I first saw him on Instagram when he was dancing with the kids, and I was like, oh my God, I think he's. So it did shock me that, but I had to remember that I only saw one version of him. You know what I'm saying? We're different levels. And let's keep in mind, Olandria, where she grew up is, she knows how, that's why I said she's not going to talk too much. She's teaching me something at my big age is in how to move in corporate still, getting back into it. Sometimes you have to remember, and I'm telling you, you cannot tell me that my nephew Ace did not read the 48 Laws of Power, and neither did Olandria. Meaning you got to know, you have to, sometimes you do have to play a part. But what part are you playing, and what is your why? And that's why I said it's not just with Ace. This is where it's sometimes when we're young and we speak too much out of anger or hurt feelings or just misunderstanding and not practice. Because one thing he kept saying is, I know how to communicate, but you failed in communication with somebody that cared about you. Your own people.
Hey, Candy,
I'm sorry, go
Candy,
ahead. Yep.
aren't you so happy that we did not have to go through this in our early 20s?
Right. Yeah.
I am so glad there was not a TikTok, Instagram,
I know, right?
none of that.
That's why I said,
Real.
yeah.
It's hard,
And
like
then,
having everybody in your business and having everything to say about it. I know that's. I couldn't do
I
that.
still
But that's
want
how I
to be
feel
in the
for
real world,
Alondria
though.
though, because
I want
she
to
was
be in the
really a
real
normal
world.
person.
yeah.
She wasn't like Ace or Shelly or you know what I mean. All these people that had all these followers and had all this following, and how she was a normal girl from Alabama that was like, you know what, I'm 27. I need to go on the. You know what? Why not? And it worked out. She's getting all this fame, all these people that she thinks are supposed to be there for her because they know her, and that's what she was saying in the interview. You guys were there for me, and you let the internet talk you into a different narrative. That's what she was saying. You know me. And so to have all these people switch up and now Ace and Shelly, it's crazy. And I feel for her because this is the first time that she's with a man of a different race, right? And now she's having to deal with the doubt and the whole, and then now this on top of it, the
But
reignition
what they're showing her is,
of the
guess
doubt.
what? Your own. Sometimes you get it worse from people that look like you. All they doing is driving her closer
Right.
to where he is, and it's very it's hurtful.
It's
I
in
mean,
God's plan, though.
it
It's in
is in God's
plan.
plan, and sometimes it's like, yes, we want. And she's even said this is what she wanted. And let's keep in mind too, people are saying, "Oh yeah, it's fake." No, they have. But too, Ace, you have not put a label on. First off, label titles. We live in this day and age too, where everything has to be labeled and titled. No, that's my man. That's my woman. That's my husband. That's my wife. That's my boyfriend. I didn't even. My mama said it too. Growing up, I don't play boyfriend girlfriend. Tell me, let me meet your husband. Let me meet your fiance.
I got the same thing.
Yeah,
Same thing. I was
so-
dating a guy for 2 years and they said, "Where's your friend at?" To his face.
Yeah.
They
Thank
never
you.
to his face.
Thank you.
This man was
Thank
paying
you.
all my bills, all
Thank you.
everything.
Yeah.
I'm
And
gonna
that's
say
why I
this.
said,
They broke.
yup, they dating
go ahead,
healthy.
Candy.
Boyfriend and girlfriend ain't in the Bible.
Yup,
It
it's all
ain't.
right.
It ain't.
Yeah,
It ain't.
and he taking care of. That's why I said he said it too. He said it at the reunion. And I'm gonna say this: Ace is mad that he did not out somebody and publicly or say something. This was still business. He kept it professional. Now, if I have a private conversation with you when we leave work, that's when we leave work. But when we clock in, we gotta. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta get it right.
That's why I'm like. You know what? That's why I said I can't.
And that's why I think it's so interesting. So I was going to say two things. Oh yeah, one thing about Olandria that I find to be really interesting is that first and foremost, y'all have to really realize is that she only had like altogether on all social media, she probably only had like 60K followers altogether. Only 60K, right? So when y'all said earlier that she was a normal person, she was dead ass a normal fucking person. Okay. Like, and when we talk about the whole aspect of like everybody else talking about professionalism and so on and so forth. I think that's one reason why I resonate with Olympia so much is because not only did she really come in there with not a lot of influence, right? She didn't know like the game of everything, right?
Experience.
But she also came out of there with the same character. She has not switched up not one not one time anything. What I love so much about Olandria, and there's a reason why people complain about the fact that she's not always posting. No, that's who she. That's a good thing, y'all.
Keep your
The fact that
peace.
she
Keep your
feels no
peace.
need. Exactly. The fact that she feels no need to like suddenly start posting more and
Perform.
guys
And be
tells us
fake.
that the show did not change her. If anything, it just raised her. Literally, it just raised her up, y'all. That's all it fucking did. It didn't change her for who she was. It didn't change the way how private she is. It did not change anything. The only thing it changed is for her to be allowed to be more selfish and to be more open. That's it.
Amen.
I
And
don't
get
know
money.
if y'all seen the Nick. It was Nick Cannon, Nick and Taylor interview.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting.
We don't talk about that one over here.
We're okay, but look, I just want to say this: how he kept clowning Nick, and it's like they will clown people for choosing you, but they don't want to choose you. They don't want to date you.
Amen.
Choose you, want to date you. Oh, you want to make
Every
fun of him,
time.
though. But they
Every
don't want you
time.
though. They don't want you.
One
Every
thing
time.
that I don't like, I didn't like about that was first, yeah, exactly, Lena, was giving Nick a black card. What the fuck, you fucking weirdo! Not only that,
Right.
also straight up saying the hard R in front of this white boy.
Yeah, he was trying to clown him. He was trying to get
No,
him to
I think
slip
I
up
think
for
he
the
had
whole
no, I think he was
interview.
trying. I think he was trying to trap him.
Yeah,
He was trying to
I
trap
get
him.
that.
Listen, I'm
And I
telling
get
you, he was
that.
trying to
Yeah.
trap him.
And
That
that's
was the
what
whole
made me
interview.
uncomfortable
So
because
uncomfortable.
the issue for me is that Nick during the entire interview was like, listen, when I tell y'all I have to give Nick his fucking ones, okay? That man was like literally like
That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
he gives me no choice but to put him on my client list. I have no choice but to put Nick on my client list.
They weren't trapping him in shit. Like even the conversation about if you had to pick anybody, who would you pick? Taylor said, Beyonce. What did Nick say? Oh, Landry.
Nobody. But he was messing with him in that interview because he was mad he was dating someone that looked like Alandria. Nick wouldn't date anyone who looked like
Nick would
Alandria.
never date
Taylor
anyone
didn't
that looked
want
like
to.
Alandria.
So when this white man picks him, I'm going to clown him and I'm going to try to get him to slip up with some type of racism because I would never date someone that looks like her. So I'm going to make fun of you for doing it. Like
Why
they
did
didn't
Nick Cannon bring up Scarlett
crazy.
Johansson? Scarlett
Yup.
Johansson. Like,
It's a reason why he
Why did you
that?
say that?
Yeah, it's a
Who
reason
keeps
why he
giving
said
Nick
that.
Cannon a mic?
Yeah, he tried to say
It's
a white one.
crazy.
Whoever
Yeah.
said that, you're correct. Because
Scarlett Johansson was the only person that Nick Cannon could think of to bring up as a celebrity that he thought that Nick would like.
He was just trying to say someone
Washed
white
up.
on the top of his
Mind
head.
you, the woman. I'm not. The age does not matter, but the woman could be his mother. Like this is not somebody that is in his age range for him to even be with. The man is 24 years old.
Well, to be fair, Beyonce
So what would
said,
he
I mean,
want?
not Beyonce. Taylor said Beyonce. I think he just threw a name out there, but I see what you're saying. It's like, what?
You see, I'm not saying that it's not that. I'm just saying like in general, like it's like think of it like this. Like think of it if like a 24-year-old woman and you're comparing her dating somebody that's 3 years older than her versus Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see.
You know
What
what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Why are we even bringing up Scarlett Johansson? That's not even in Nick's. Why wouldn't you say like Sabrina Carpenter?
Exactly.
I think he was
You know
just
what I'm
trying to
saying?
say
Like,
Because Nick
something
Cannon
like
doesn't
that,
know who
like-
Sabrina Carpenter is.
because he.
I think he just trying to like hurry up
So
and say
he needs
that
to focus on the
nobody.
12. He needs to focus on the 12 broken homes and the
Hello?
statistic that he is adding to the black male broken home epidemic. He needs to worry about that.
Well, remember, I think that's when Nick turned it around on him about the mark on the lip. He was like, "You ain't never." Remember, he called.
They really expected for Nick to like close in on himself. They really expected for like Nick to close in on himself and not be able to have that banter. But what was the thing he said to Nick? You have 12 kids and no babes.
Yeah.
I feel like the whole interview was trying to clown Nick.
They really thought that they had him, but the fact that he was so
But
in with the banter, they were like, "Fuck, I guess you're cool with us, dude." They
You
didn't
should have
like-
never took that
But do you
interview.
see how delusional and crazy these men are though? They will do everything that they can to put down a black woman, and as soon as a man, any man, it could be a white, any man, honestly, because I hate to do this with a white man, black man, because they did the same thing to Sierra and Russell. Okay, they did the same thing where they clown Russell, who is a black man, for treating they hate the idea of black women getting treated nicely. They don't like it. And so when that happens, it doesn't matter about the race, it triggers them because they cannot understand, right? Because they have their own mommy issues and their own DL closeted issues that they need to focus on and figure out. And so, right, I'm gonna take it there. Sorry. And so they need to, and so instead of figuring that out and going to therapy and going to church or whatever they need to do, they would rather get on a podcast at the age of 40, 50, 60 years old and sit there and bully a 20-something year old for for seeing what is the natural beauty, like for seeing what's natural beauty. I'm truly confused as to how people are not seeing the fact that Olandria is beautiful. Like I'm not getting it. And so to clown somebody like that, to me, it doesn't speak race to me because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the race of the man. It's just the root of the issue is they don't like to see black women being loved.
I feel like
They're not used to that.
I feel like with that interview, they were trying to clown him the whole time. They wouldn't pick her. They would never pick her or date someone that looks like her. So it's like, oh, I want to clown him and make him slip up and come out as a racist or something like that, just to trick him up, just to show that she'll never be chosen. It all reverted back to Orlando. That's how I feel about it. Like,
Right.
I completely
that's really
agree.
what it was. And so they're like, oh, let's clown him. Let's little boy him. Like, let's show him, like, basically. And he was quick with it, but he should have never took that interview. I hope that taught him his lesson. I hope when he got home, Melandria was like, I told you don't go up on there.
Exactly. Some people that you just know, like, cancel. Like Nick Cannon should have been canceled a long time ago.
Bro,
Like, that's why I didn't see the interview because I don't like Nick Cannon.
listen, when
That's why I said he's giving this man a mic.
doing. No, y'all.
Why does he still have a microphone?
I'm gonna have to wrap it up, but I'm gonna just say this really quickly. Once again, very much team black woman. As much as I had criticisms for Ace, one thing about it and two things for certain is that I hope that him and Shelly do last. I will say that at least.
They won't.
Right.
I hope that they last. Don't put no. Whoever said that, don't put no.
Right.
They won't.
Stop.
She's more likely to marry a woman than to marry Ace.
He'll ruin it.
Stop.
Ace will ruin
All right. I still hope at least the best for them. I hope the best for them. I hope the best for Nicolandria. But thank y'all for coming.
on the Nicolandria.
All right, thank you.
Bye.